Let's take a look at some object cloning methods in 3ds Max. I have a simple cylinder and a bend modifier has been applied to it. And right now I've purposely not changed the angle of the bend. So we'll copy it in a few different ways and then we'll change the angle of the bend and see what it does on our copies. So I'm going to go simply under Edit, Clone. That's one way to do it, to get the clone options. Or you can simply hold down Shift and move this guy. So the first thing I'm going to use is a simple copy option. So that's our copy. Then I'm going to shift and drag again. I'm going to do instance on the second one. And then shift and drag again. And I'm going to do a reference on the second one. Now the copy is a straight copy. And it just creates a separate clone. And if you modify this one right now, let's say, nothing's going to happen on the second object. It's just a separate clone, so it's just its own thing. So that's what a copy is. So I'm just going to delete that. So this one is an instance and this one is a reference. So an instance is pretty much if you change, it's just an interchangeable clone. And if you modify an instant object, it's just like modifying the original. So if I just modify this, you can see that I'm modifying the original as well. And same thing with the original. And the reference is a clone, and it pretty much is dependent on the original object with the original modifiers. But if you look at the reference stack, it's slightly different from the main object and the instance object. So you look at this one, the modifier stack is cylinder and bend, and this one is the modifier stack is cylinder and bend. On the reference though, there's cylinder and bend, and there's this little bar. So it was copied with the reference option with the bend on. So now anything I apply above this bar right here, let's say if I apply a taper, and if I change the taper, it's only going to affect that object. But if I change the bend, it's going to change the other two. Now for the instance, I can do another thing. Although this is right now changing the reference object and also the main object, but I can use this button over here saying make unique. If I do that, it's only going to change the instance object. So those are some of our cloning options in 3ds Max.